Hello and welcome to the St. Joseph Bay Preserves. My name is Roland Burnett and I'm a member of the Friends Group, which is a nonprofit 501c organization that provides volunteer support for both the aquatic and the buffer preserves. The trail that you see beside me is an example of what we've worked together with the buffer staff on to help visitors explore this area. In this video, you're going to have an opportunity to meet the managers of both the aquatic and buffer preserve. First, I'll introduce Megan Christopher of the Aquatic Preserves.
I'm Meg Christopher, and I'm the Central Panhandle Aquatic Preserve Manager, which includes St. Joseph Bay Aquatic Preserve. St. Joe Bay AP was designated by an act of Florida legislature in 1969. It designated waters that were considered important for conservation, and St. Joe Bay was one of the original 18 selected to be protected and preserved. Some of the work that we do in the bay includes seagrass restoration, water quality sampling, wildlife monitoring, and other activities to ensure that the resources are being protected and preserved. It's super important to make sure that you're utilizing the bay in a responsible manner. Some of the ways that you can make sure you're doing this is to trim up in shallow areas, utilizing polarized sunglasses, and making sure that you're using maps and GPS to make sure that you're not hitting the bottom, as we have a lot of shallow sandbars in the area. It's also super important to make sure that you're interacting with wildlife responsibly. Make sure that you're only taking things within the legal size limit and in season. And if you can, make sure that you're doing catch and release so we have plenty of resources for the future to enjoy. St. Joseph Bay encompasses 55,000 acres of submerged aquatic lands that are state-owned. In St. Joe Bay, you can find seagrass habitat, salt marsh, mud flats, and open waters that are home to sea creatures like sea turtles, dolphins, sharks, stingrays, and smaller animals like crabs and fish, seahorses, and sea stars. One of the popular activities in the summertime here includes scalloping, and when you snorkel around and try to find some scallops hiding in the seagrass, they also make a delicious meal and are a really big draw to the area in the summertime. One of the things that's important when you're scalping is to make sure that you're respecting the resources, make sure that you're not scarring the grass with your boat propeller, and ensure that you're taking things that only you're going to eat. Some of the ways that you can access the aquatic preserve include local kayak launches and boat ramps that allow you to visit and enjoy some of the most beautiful waters in Florida. The dune system on Cape San Blas is an important way to protect the bay from incoming storms and other forms of increased wave action and saltwater intrusion. Important vegetation holds the dunes in place and also provides vital habitat for some of our local wildlife. Some of the animals that you can find in the dune system on the Cape include beach mice and nesting sea turtles during nesting season. It's important during nesting season to make sure that you leave the beach flat, clean, and dark. This includes knocking down sandcastles, filling in holes at the end of the day, and taking your beach items with you, such as chairs and tents. It's also important that you take any litter with you so as not to provide any trash into the water or any other way that our local wildlife might ingest it. Residential and migratory birds are common sights in our bay. You can find wading birds such as egrets and herons, as well as visitors in the wintertime like white pelicans and loons. Some of the ways you can support St. Joseph Bay Aquatic Preserve is ensuring that you're making responsible decisions while enjoying the resources. Make sure that you interact safely with wildlife, give them enough space, and make sure you're boating safely.
Thank you, Megan. And now you're going to have an opportunity to meet Dylan Shoemaker, who is the manager for the buffer preserves.
Welcome, everyone, to the St. Joseph Bay State Buffer Preserve. I want to discuss today the mission statement of the Buffer Preserve. Our mission statement is to conserve, preserve, and restore our cultural and natural resources while enhancing public appreciation. Now, let me walk you through each section of that mission statement and talk to you about each one. So, enhancing a public appreciation within the heart of the preserve, that includes our 26 miles of hiking, biking, and horseback riding trails, along with an interpretive trail that is a little over a mile long, along with one primitive campsite. Part of the Buffer Preserve's mission statement is to conserve. That means helping protect our natural resources, such as our rare and endangered plants. Our rare and endangered plants, three of the top ones are Telfa spurge, Chapman's rhododendron, and Florida skullcap. Another element to the St. Joseph Bay State Buffer Preserve's mission statement is preservation. Preservation of the natural communities within the preserve, which include the flora and fauna. Around me and behind me, you are seeing natural community types of mesic flatwoods, cypress strands, and cypress domes, all of which are very important natural communities to preserve within the buffer preserve. Another component to our mission statement is restoration. Behind me, you will see wiregrass, a reduction in fuel levels, and tall, healthy longleaf pines. Here we are talking about restoration and how it relates to our mission statement. Restoration breaks into many parts, and now we're going to talk about the part of hydrology. Hydrology is a very major component here within the preserve. Hydrology is the flow of water through the preserve in the amount and direction that it historically used to flow. As you see behind me, we have a nice sized brand new water crossing that allows the water to percolate through the rocks and in the direction of Money Bayou, which is historically what it used to do.
Thank you, Megan and Dylan, for explaining the exciting nature of the environment and the work that's being done here. The Friends Group would like to invite you to learn more about not only the preserves, but the opportunity to be a part of the volunteer organization. Thank you.